Reduce, reuse, recycle. We've all heard that mantra before, and recycling is not really as easy as you think it is. We're going to spend our time today going to the Montgomery Regional Solid Waste Authority to learn all about recycling on this edition of eneRGy. Hi and welcome to eneRGy. I'm Dean Crane, and on this edition we're at the Montgomery Regional Solid Waste Authority to talk about recycling, because recycling is much more than just throwing it in the bin and figuring out where it goes from there. Today we have the Education Coordinator, Teresa Sweeney. Thanks so much for being with us.
My pleasure.
So, Teresa, tell me a little bit about how you came to work here and a little bit about what's an education, a recycling coordinator.
Well, when I first came here, this job was brand new. The position was brand new. So they created the job description, and then I kind of learned as I went along what was necessary. We started trying to get into the school systems to provide programs for the teachers. We were out at all the community events, and something that I very much enjoy doing.
And you continue today?
Yes.
Awesome. So tell me about the greatest thing you've got in this job. What's the best thing when you get up in the morning, you come to work, what's the best thing you got here?
I get to talk all day long and get paid for it. That was a bad thing in school.
Education is the big thing, right?
It is.
You gotta keep pushing that thing.
And with an ever-changing population, that's important, especially with the universities in our region. Sure. Also with students, a lot of kindergarten students will come here, and then they move on through the grades in the elementary school, and then the teachers will bring new students along the next year. So
education, education, continual. Education.
Yes.
That sounds great.
We wanted to see what happened to the recyclables that we contribute to them. And it was a great trip.
We've been here about 2 years. We live in Blacksburg at Warm Hearth Village, and we have participated in almost 15 programs from Parks and Rec.
I've lived in Blacksburg for 5.5 years. I discovered the Parks and Recreation Department about 2.5, 3 years ago, and I have participated in lots of the trips. Joy has led me astray most enjoyably, and I've made many friends along the way. The best thing about the trip was finding out what happened, because I knew I'd been saving all of these things all these years, and sending them away to be recycled, but I didn't know how they started after they left my house, how they started on their journey to become whatever.
So at this facility, what are some of the things that get recycled?
Well, we have the fiber stream, which is paper, and we have commingled containers.
Okay.
Now
which is everything.
Which is everything. It is the #1 and #2 plastic bottles and jugs.
Okay.
It is the green, clear, and amber glass. It is the aluminum cans, the steel cans. So all of those are put together in a commingled mixture called commingled containers.
And then they're sorted out on the floor.
Sorted out here.
Okay.
Yes, and some people think that that is a step back from where we used to be.
Right.
People had 6 bags in their kitchen.
I remember each one.
But really, technology has improved so much through the years that the equipment will separate some of that material and get it to a certain point before the hand sorting begins.
So it's not the education coordinator doing it?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
That sounds good.
Now with the fiber products that we are recycling, we're recycling corrugated cardboard.
Okay.
Sorted office paper, magazines and catalogs, newsprint, and those can be commingled now. So we call that mixed paper.
Oh, so everything just goes in one bin?
Yes.
Wow.
And we have to do things in a way that all localities can benefit from us being here. So, for instance, the town of Blacksburg, they have a certain method of collecting that, and it comes to us a certain way. So we need to be able to process that as it comes here.
Okay.
And so with town of Christiansburg, Montgomery County, and Virginia Tech, it all comes to us differently.
A little differently.
Yeah.
Keeps the job interesting.
Yes, it does.
Sounds good. So once everything comes in here, it goes through the sorting machines, and it's all in its nice little bundles. Then what happens to the recycling? Where does it go from here?
Well, it goes to various places.
Okay.
Paper, most of it goes back into making a paper product.
Okay. So you're basically selling it.
Yes.
You're trying to make
it.
You're making a product out of recycling. You're selling it to run this center.
Yes.
Wow. That's really
We
recycling.
are considered a not-for-profit facility, so
Okay.
that is extremely important that we have a great product leaving this facility so
Okay.
that the next processor can make it into a quality product.
Okay, so
for
yeah,
the consumer.
you're one step. You collect it, you bundle it, you sell it.
Yes.
They make it into something else.
Yes.
Okay. Wow, that's pretty impressive. So tell me about this buyback process. What is that all about?
Buyback is our convenience center that's located on the far end of the building when you come into our facility.
Okay.
And that is a convenience center for people that want to bring in recyclables for donation,
Okay.
or they may bring in materials to be paid for things like metals, brass, copper, aluminum.
Okay. Things that might not be recycled on the curbside.
Yes.
Okay.
Now those things, we will weigh them, issue a ticket, you will be paid on the spot for that.
Wow.
So that is why it's called buyback.
Okay.
We are open during the week, Monday
Okay.
through Friday. We are not open on Saturday, and we do publish the pricing
Okay.
each month because that does vary from
Sure,
month to month.
that fluctuates.
Can also be found on our website at www.mrswa.com.
Easy to say.
Yeah.
And can anyone do this?
Yes,
Doesn't matter if you live in the county or not.
it does not.
Okay, because it's helpful for the environment, helpful for the person, and
Yes, it
helpful
is.
for you guys.
Definitely.
That's right. That's great. So at any given time, just say a month, you get a lot of stuff coming in from Virginia Tech, Christiansburg, Blacksburg, and a variety of other places comes in here. But
Right.
how much stuff really comes into this facility?
We process an average of 500 tons a month.
Okay, that sounds like a lot to me. It's a lot of paper and a lot of stuff. But really, give me a figure. How can I think about that much paper if I was thinking about something else out there?
Okay, well, if you look at an elephant weighing 2,000 pounds, you're talking about 250 elephants is the amount of material being recycled.
Wow. So if we had a herd of elephants out there, that's how much in a
Yes.
month recycles through here.
Yes.
Wow. Elephants would be cool to have here. That would be fun. All right, Teresa. People throw in their magazines and they want to be good recyclers, so they recycle everything, which there are notes that you're not supposed to do pizza boxes or yogurt containers and different things of that nature.
Right.
Or they might have food still left in it or something like that. So not everything that comes to this facility is recyclable.
Correct.
What do you do with that stuff that's, I guess, contaminates your load? What happens there?
It is separated from the recyclables,
Okay.
hand sorted, so we have employees that are pulling out those things out of
Not fun.
the materials that are coming through on the conveyor belt. And what's amazing is that the general public does an awesome job at separating those materials and keeping those contaminants
Sure.
to a minimum. So much that it makes our work
Easier and cleaner.
Yes, much easier and definitely cleaner.
Okay.
We have less than 3%
Wow.
of everything that comes in here that we actually have to throw out. So our residual rate is less than 3% always.
So when you recycle curbside or you recycle at one of the sites in the county,
Yes.
it really is getting recycled.
Yes, it is.
That's a great thing. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to continue our tour at the Montgomery Regional Solid Waste Authority. Welcome back. If you're just joining us right now, we're learning all about recycling at the Montgomery Regional Solid Waste Authority. So I know you give tours here so people, the public, can come and see what recycling is all about and how it's handled. Well, you do this every day. 14 years of every day going through the recycling plant. What's your favorite part of the tour? You got to have one.
My favorite part of giving a tour is the end. And I know that sounds
awesome.
the end, because people have this misconception about what we do here. Once they've gone through, they've asked their questions, and they're getting ready to leave, they stop at the door and they say, "This was great. We had a
Puts it all
really
together,
great time.
doesn't it?
We learned a lot," and that just makes my day to hear them say, you know, they didn't realize that this was here. So it makes me feel like I have accomplished something that day.
Oh, that's awesome. So what's your favorite time of the day? 5 o'clock.
No, 4:30.
Okay, let's think. Yeah,
So you've been the coordinator here for a long time on education. You've seen recycling change over the time. Give me just a little bit of recap of history of when this facility started to now and what might even be in the future for recycling.
Okay. When I started here, there were 18 employees in recycling alone.
Wow.
And of course, we did operate the landfill at that time, so
Well,
we had
that's true.
even more employees even out there than we had here. But 18 people sorting on the sorting line, and they would sort paper, then they would go to the containers and sort that. So we had a very massive crew here.
Right, right. Very manual.
Yes. And as we learned more about recycling and learned about what we were doing, people would come and go, they'd find new jobs, and move on. And so we didn't replace those people as they left. We became more efficient with the operation.
Machinery changed as well?
Well, our machinery really didn't change a lot, but technology changed elsewhere that made our job easier.
Okay,
You know, we didn't have to worry so much about you know, the staples and the paper clips and, you know, some of those things that were, you know, in our mind, oh, we have to get that off of that piece of paper. You know, those things weren't as important anymore. So
that's efficient.
it became more, more efficient, and we learned more as we went along, and the general public learned more as we went along. So hopefully it was because of education that they learned more about
Of course
that.
it was,
So
because they've taken the tour and they know why. So where do you foresee it in the future?
Well, we have gotten to a point now where we're very efficient with our operation. Market prices are good right now, but that has not been the case. Even 2 years ago, we had the crash. We couldn't get rid of paper, you know, as a whole in the recycling industry. It was very difficult to get rid of.
And you just kind of have
materials.
to hold on to it then until you can sell it or take a low cost.
Yes, most people did, but we were fortunate enough to have good quality materials because our citizens bring in a good product. We were able to move our materials much more quickly than other facilities. So, you know, as we've progressed forward, we move material, we have the revenue coming in for those materials so that we can put it back into the operation. And I think that where we are going in the future is we are looking for ways to make it simpler for the average family. You know, we've done that with containers. We've done that with mixed paper, commingling the containers, mixing the paper. We're looking at what else can we do.
Make it easier for the people to recycle. If they recycle, they're going to get you a better product. You're going to turn around better operation here, better price, better for everybody.
And we want to expand what we're doing. You know, we don't want to just do the same products we've always done. We want to pull more from the waste stream. So we're still seeing things go into the landfill that can be recycled. So how do we get that material into the recycling facility? So we're looking at ways to make that a simpler task and to make it happen.
So you'd pull a product from the landfill to be directed here, try to find a market for it, a way to clean it or sort it, and then sell it.
Now that would be the best case scenario. We're not permitted to do that at this point, but that would be ideal if we could find a way, whether it's through us or through citizens, having a more convenient approach to recycling, whether it was a closer drop site or curbside recycling or something like that, that would make it easier for them to recycle.
It's a pretty bright future.
Yes, I think
That's
so.
awesome.